Hey, Big Geordie Geek here, aka Michael, and today I'm bringing you a battle report. Fourth in 4 weeks on the same day. Am I getting into a schedule? I don't know. Anyway, today we're going to see two armies that I really love. The Death Guard. A disgusting army covered in filth and pus and blood and bile and all that nasty stuff. I just love the army, the colour scheme, the lore. It's very interesting. Also played in the Heresy. So yeah, I'm a Death Guard fan, and they're going to be facing off against the second army I started collecting when I got back into the hobby, back in my mid-20s at the end of 4th edition. The Orks. I got the Black Reach set, and at first my wife wanted to do the Orks, hence why the scheme they have is pinks and purples predominantly. But I kind of, well, she doesn't like painting horde armies. She prefers a more specialist, elite army. So yeah, they didn't last long, and I ended up with them, which is fine. I love the Orks. They're a fun army. They're really fun, really fun. So yeah, so we've got the two armies with a real, I like them. I love these armies. So who's gonna win Daddy's love today? Let's have a look. So we'll start by taking a look at my wonderful Death Guard army. Well, I say wonderful, I painted it, so it's alright. Yeah, it's fine. Honest. Okay, so this is what we have. It's a small army. We've got basically 4 choices in there. As I said, this is only 500 points, so let's take a look at the list. And look at the list. We've got in the HQ, we've got Lord of Contagion, the Lord Feltius, the easy to build model there, with the Man Reaper, an Orb of Desiccation, a Malignant Playcaster, as the second HQ there. Some troops, we've got 20 Poxwalkers, 20 of them. Oh, I don't know what I was thinking. But oh god, they look good on the table. There's a real nice feeling to having a nice little horde of something. That's great. Except when it's got a 7+ armor save, maybe not so great. And then I've got 7 Plague Marines, because 7's a good number for Nurgle, isn't it? And there I've got a Blight Launcher and a Plasma Gun on some of the ordinary troops. And the champion has a Power Fist and Demonic Plague Blade. Now they are quite cool. I love these models. I've got a couple here from the series that came out, the Space Marine Hero series. That's the icon bearer there. I didn't put the icon on the list. Silly me. And I've even got an old Forge World Plague Marine. If you can see in the front there, the third one along from the left, he's actually an old Space Marine, Chaos Space Marine, upgraded with the Nurgle. The Plague Marine upgrade kit from Forge World, and then I've just put one of the more modern Plague Marine backpacks from the multi-part kit on the back of him, which is just because I just thought it'd look cool. And then we have the Malignant Plaguecaster, also from the Space Marines hero range. So there's some lovely models. I do quite like them. Okay, so moving into the Orks. Now, I do apologise for lighting in these photos. The lighting in my kitchen is actually really, really bad. And I need to, if I'm going to be filming more battle reports than that, I need to replace the bulb with something that's got a more white, because I think the light we get there is a bit too yellow. Anyway, so this list, as you've got a lot more in there. Orks, they're a bit of a horde. So we start off with Warboss. That's from the Assault from Black Reach Warboss. He's got a custom shooter and a power claw. Troops choices, we've got 10 boys and a boss knob. Now, everyone has got a slugger and chopper, even the boss knob, except for the one guy who's got a big shooter. And then there's a mob of 15 Gretchen. In the elites, there are Meganobs, 3 Meganobs, all armed with Combi Scorchers and Power Claws. And then finally, there's penultimately, there is a Runt Herd with a Grot Prod and Grot Lash. And then in heavy support, we've got a Bubble Chucker Mech Gun. Because Megan's just finished painting that and she really wanted to use it. And you know what? Sometimes you just got to use a model you painted, even though there's a curse associated with using models. So without further ado, let's go into the game. Okay, so this is the table that we're actually using now. It's a very small table, but we only wanted a small little sample game. Megan is still getting used to 9th edition, as am I, to be fair. And what we've got set up here is just a couple of buildings in the corners, some pipes, a hemotrope reactor, thermic plasma conduit, the auto-coral transmitter, and a couple of armor containers. And that's a nice little setup for us, I think. It's using one board from Verticus, which is where actually I got most of this stuff from, except the hemotrope reactor. Yeah, there's a few bits from Verticus and a few bits out elsewhere. This is mostly the stuff from the table that we painted in aid of the in charity painting stream we did earlier this year. So going into the actual game, we played open war. These are the cards we drew. We've got deployment into triangles. We actually did adjust this slightly because on a board this size, it wasn't possible to have a 24-inch gap, which is fine because we wanted this to be a nice, quick game. And so it was all right having our models sort of get into combat with each other a bit quicker than normal. The objective is the prize. It's basically pick up an object and move it away, which is, you know, a cool little thing. And the blackout was the twist. The maximum range of all shooting attacks and psychic powers is limited to 18 inches. Now, normally this would be an issue, but on a board that size, not a big deal, to be honest. So perhaps we should have drawn another twist. Anyway, moving on into the setup. There's my orc. There is my Death Guard horde there. We've got a screen of Poxwalkers to protect the Lord of Contagion. You know what? I know people don't like his face, but I just love the Feltius' face. It's just so very Nurgle to me. You know that that lovely jovialness there. Plague Marines on the, my left, and the Malignant Plaguecaster is hanging out with them. Then we're going to go into the Orks, and you can see the tablecloth is sort of being rolled up at the side there. Maybe I should have left that down. I don't know. And we've got a bunch of boys. It's a big mob. There's loads of stuff. And then you can see just behind the hemotrope reactor there is the big mech gun. And we've got one grot sitting on top of a Munitorum armor container, you know. And here's his view, you know, he's saying to the Death Guard, come on, you know you want it, have it. Because that's what grots are like, they're idiots, you know, they're absolute flipping idiots. He's challenging all those Death Guard to a fight, and he should be cowardly, but he's a brave grot, so we'll let him have it. Okay, so turn one for me was my Plague Marines basically moved forward. The Lord of Contagion was sort of standing behind them, and he was like, come on, get a move on. And the Poxwalkers just, you know, shambled forward, as they do. They're not very fast. The Plague Marines, on the other hand, you know, they also moving quite slowly, but them and the Malignant Plaguecaster just sort of moved along. Unfortunately, they kind of ended up behind the Munitorum armor container, so they literally had absolutely no line of sight to any of the Orc models, so they couldn't shoot, which is an absolute pain. Stupid decision on my part. However, that little grot there, standing on that Munitorum armor container, well, my Malignant Plaguecaster's like, no, I'm not having that. I'm not having him challenge me, and he smites him. Just, you know, throws a smite power at him. You know, that's what he does. So, yeah, that was basically the end of my turn. One grot killed. What a great return on investment. So anyway, the grots get pushed forward by the grunt herd. He's got his whip there, and he's lashing them forward, and he's sending them there, and they sort of move forward. They actually did advance, but I took a photo of the first bit of the move, because Megan likes to do it in 2 sets. Okay, so her Mega Knobs and Warboss sort of moved across, grabbed on top of the Munitorum armor container. You know, I'm actually quite proud of my paint job on this one. I don't know, maybe I'm being boastful. Anyway, so they sort of climbed on top of the container there, 2 of them, a couple behind, and they're getting ready to do some stuff, you know. Warboss is standing on top of there and shouting to his boys and his grots to get a move on. They need that relic. Although they're not calling it a relic, they're calling it the thingamajiggy or something. So yeah, the grots there. There's a photo of them when they advance. They're sneaky. They jump on top of that prize, and they pick that up. That little grot there in the pink helmet. picks up that prize. So, Bubble Chucker. No, there's the Brunt Herd. He sort of took another photo. That's the. I don't remember taking this one. Oh no, it is the photo I meant to take. It's from the point of view of the Bubble Chucker. It's at the bottom here. See, silly me. I've labelled everything. I've written a script, and I'm still getting it wrong. So the Bubble Chucker fires a big bubble at the Poxwalkers, which actually causes 7 of them to die. Yeah, Poxwalkers, they really aren't resistant, are they? And can I roll anything to keep them alive? Can I? Hell, they stay dead. Meanwhile, oh well, that's a funny old picture. I like the silhouette there. The Mega Boss and War Boss shoot at the Poxwalkers, only killing one more of them with their shooters. See, they ain't great at shooting at these Orks. They really aren't, but that's not their strength. So 5 of the boys are able to shoot this. Look, they can sort of see through here. This is a really bad angle, but you've got 5 boys that can see through, including the one with the big shooter, can sort of see through at the Poxwalkers. And they kill another 3 Poxwalkers. So I'm already down 11 Poxwalkers. Only got a mob of 20. Thankfully, they pass morale checks automatically. And there was no ability to charge. No one was in range, so back over to my turn. And the Poxwalkers decide to make a, well, like, just get pushed forward. The Lord of Change is basically saying, go on, get on with it. I want you Lord of Contagion, not Lord of Change. That's a Tzinch. He's a Nurgle. Oh, the grandfather himself is going to be very angry with me for making that mistake. So he pushes those Poxwalkers forward. And the Plague Marines sort of shuffle forward and join the Lord of Contagion there forward as well. Maybe the terrain on this board was a little bit too dense for a game this size, but, you know, we were in it for the narrative, really, the fun of it. So, the Plague Caster, again, casts Smite. That's what he does. He's at the back on the far left here. He casts Smite at the Mega Knobs, and he manages to slay one of them with just outright, which is great. So 4 of the Plague Marines here fire against the Grots. They actually killed 2 of them, which is great. But the Grots have basically died to the ground and managed to make so many saves. It's ridiculous. Sorry, not saves. I managed to miss so much stuff. Why am I saying saves? They didn't make saves. It was me missing. See, I've written it down in front of me, and I'm getting it wrong. I've got to get better at this. Okay, so the Poxwalkers then decide, we're going to charge these Grots. We're going to show what happens to them. And they fail to wound any. Their weapons, their improvised weapons, just flail around in the air. The Grots are like, oh, what's going on here? What's going on here? They're dodging out the way, and the Poxwalkers are just sort of shambling around. The Grots, they can take these. They think they can take these guys. So the Grots strike back, and they take down 4 of those Poxwalkers. They sort of consolidate. They just my Poxwalkers aren't doing too well. Anyway, it's over to Megan's turn, and she declares a wag. She insisted I get this photo of her in there. So the War Boss is declared a wag. He's standing on top there, and he charges over. So yeah, the wag is the War Boss pushes his boys and his Mega Knobs forward. They obviously can advance and charge. So he's shouting wag to the skies and sending everyone forward. So yeah, the boys are going forward. Everyone's going forward, basically. The Bubble Chucker fires a dense bubble at the Plague Marines and misses, gouging a hole in the train behind them. She actually did re-roll but for the hit, and she got a 1. She hit a 2 first and then got a 1 on the re-roll. So that was plenty fun. The War Boss and the Mega Knobs then charge into the Plague Marines. Which not great for the Plague Marines, because the Mega Knobs use their power claws and literally rip 2 of them apart. You know, they just like and just chop 2 of them in half. The War Boss uses his power claw and he kills another 2 of them. So I only got 7 and I'm down to 3 already. Yeah, this isn't going so well for me, really, is it? Then the boys charge the Poxwalkers and basically hack the rest of them to death. So the Poxwalkers did basically nothing. Also, in this turn, Megan, you handed the objective off for the prize, that is, off from the pink-headed Gretchen, or the pink helmet sort of in the middle there, to the runt herd. So yeah, my Plague Marines are pretty devastated. There's only 3 of them left. 4 of their compatriots have died in this turn. So then the Orc boys move towards the Plague Marines because they want to cut them down. They're on a rampage now. That was their consolidation range. And the Lord of Contagion basically thinks, right, you know what, I can take down these savages, I can deal with them. And he sort of moves towards them. He wants to cut them down. How dare they kill his Marines? How dare they, interrupt his ritual? The Plague Marines sort of round on a Meganob. They decide, right, maybe we can take this guy. And the Plague Caster casts Smite, which kills 3 boys, which is brilliant, because, I'm not doing very well at this game, really, am I? I'm not killing enough. There's so many of them. Anyway, my Lord of Contagion charges the boys and cleaves 2 of them in half. And, so that's a total of 5 boys now killed so far, so we're doing all right. The boys then sort of pile in on the Lord of Contagion and manage to do a wound, so he loses a wound. So, overall, doing quite, that combat's not going too bad for him. So, over here, the Plague Marines strike with Plague Knives and do not a single bit of damage. The Power Fist also fails to do anything. It just doesn't bite into the Meganob's armor. It just slips off them. Maybe he's been dipping that Power Fist in in a few too many, bits of, buckets of pus or whatever. The Meganobs strike back, and they wipe out the remaining Marines. They just disappear off the table. Yay! So all I've got left now is my HQs, my Malignant Plaguecaster, and my Lord of Contagion. The runt herd is running away. He's got the objective, and he's just running away from the combat. He's like, I've got it, boss. So yeah, that was great. I've lost the game, but at this point, it's a case of seeing, can she wipe out the rest of my army? So yeah, the boys pile in around the Lord of Contagion. The mega boss moves in. He's a very he wants to try and do something. The boys shoot their sluggers, but they just click off the armor. The Grots shoot the Plaguecaster with their Grot shooters, all miss. So that's going not too bad. The War Boss then charges in to the Lord of Contagion. The Mega Nobs charge the Plaguecaster, and the Grots also charge, but only a few of them make it into actual engagement range, but they're all charged to the Plaguecaster there. So the Grots smack the Plaguecaster and do nout. All they do is distract him from the Meganobs, who then rip him in half. They literally just pick him up and just tear him limb from limb, as he's distracted by the little runts. So that was great for him. And then the War Boss, hearing all this commotion, basically grabs my Lord of Contagion and rips his head off. And, yeah. So, that was the end of the game, and I was totally wiped out by turn 4. And here are the Orks. They're all very celebrating. They've cleared out. All that's left is diseased bodies lying around them. And they're all in the centre there, celebrating over the relic that they've managed to capture. For the glory of the Warg. Yeah. That was not my best game. Okay, so that was that. I lost badly. Got wiped off the table. Barely did any damage. First time using the Death Guard in 9th edition, to be fair. But, well, yeah, anyway. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was just a nice little bat around after lunch, and I think we both had fun. And isn't that the point of it, after all? To have fun? I'm not a competitive player. I never will be. I never want to be a competitive player. I used to be once upon a time. I used to want to win tournaments and stuff, but now I revel in winning these. See? Best wooden spoon I ever got. It's a little trophy and everything. But, by the by. I don't play like that anymore. I just play for the fun of it, and that's what I want to do. And I really enjoyed this game. I've tried to take on board some suggestions from other reports that people have done. Well, not I've done. People have given me on battle reports I've done. Like, for example, putting in the army list. If there's anything else you'd like to suggest, I would love to hear it, because I enjoy doing these. And I think I found a style that works for me. I don't want to do every little dice roll and tactical in-depthness of reports, because if you want a report like that, there are loads of people out there who will do them for you, and way better than I ever could. I just want to have fun and just try and do narrative reports. And I think I do need to make them a bit more narrative. Anyway, that's me. I'm done. Next week, I will be back with another Imperium report. Possibly going to do 2 at once. Because I've got a bit of a... I don't know. I'm thinking of doing 2 in the same episode, or releasing 2 like next week. I don't know. I'll see. Maybe do 2. I don't know. It just depends on basically the... it basically depends on scheduling and getting this... Because the next report I want to do that's not Imperium is Blood Bowl. I want to do a Blood Bowl 7 game. I want to have fun with that. I've made some graphics to do some to like be fun, and the cat's come for a stroke. You want to see the cat? Come on, Dougie. This is Dougie. He's an absolute lunatic, aren't you, boy? Mwah. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, next report I want to do that's not Imperium related is Blood Bowl. We'll do Blood Bowl 7 specifically. Introduce Megan. I've not actually played the new edition, so I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, sorry. This is Dougie. He's a very loving, special needs boy. Good boy, aren't you? Aren't you a good boy? Say hello to people. Anyway, you've had enough of me? You won't have had enough of Dougie, because honestly, he's very loving. So I will hopefully see you next week with an Imperium report.